Far beyond the tallest mountains, across rivers that shimmered like silver beneath the morning sun, and deep within the ancient emerald woods lay the peaceful kingdom of Babbitts. It was a land where pigs lived in harmony with nature, building villages from sturdy oak, trading with neighboring settlements, and passing down the traditions of hunters and warriors from one generation to the next. Among the many families who lived there was one that every villager admired, the family of three inseparable siblings, Mike, Molly, and Marlin. They lived in a small wooden cottage on the edge of the forest with their aging father, an old hog who had once been one of Babbitt's greatest protectors. Though sickness had stolen much of his strength, his wisdom remained as sharp as ever. Every evening, he filled the cottage with stories of brave warriors, terrifying beasts, and the importance of protecting those who could not protect themselves. Those stories shaped the hearts of his children. Mike, the eldest brother. At nearly 3 feet tall, Mike stood proudly as the eldest sibling. Calm, disciplined, and dependable, he carried himself like the guardian of the family. His broad shoulders were protected by bronze and steel armor that had belonged to his father, while thick leather gloves shielded his hands during battle. Rather than wielding a long sword, Mike mastered the art of fighting with a single copper steel dagger sword. Though shorter than most weapons, it was incredibly quick, allowing him to dodge attacks and strike with remarkable precision. His speed and discipline made him one of the most promising young warriors in Babbitts. His father often reminded him, "A true warrior doesn't win because his blade is longer. He wins because his heart is stronger." Mike lived by those words every day. Molly, the mighty middle sister. Standing about 2.5 feet tall, Molly was the strongest of the three. She wore a crimson traveling cape over sturdy leather armor, and resting upon her shoulder was a massive wooden and iron war club. While others admired speed or elegance, Molly believed in overwhelming strength. With a single swing, she could split fallen logs, smash boulders into rubble, or send a charging boar tumbling across the ground. Yet beneath her powerful appearance was a warm and caring sister who always looked after her brothers. Whenever danger appeared, Molly was always the first to step between it and her family. Marlin, the youngest archer. The youngest of the siblings, Marlin, stood barely 2 feet tall. Quiet and thoughtful, he preferred observing the forest rather than charging into it. Hidden beneath his green hooded cloak, he carried a finely crafted wooden bow with a quiver of carefully fletched arrows upon his back. Though small, Marlin possessed extraordinary eyesight. He could spot movement through dense trees, follow animal tracks that others overlooked, and strike distant targets with astonishing accuracy. His arrows rarely missed. His father often smiled and said, "Strength protects your body, skill protects your friends." Those words became Marlin's greatest motivation. A perfect team. Although each sibling excelled in different ways, it was together that they became truly remarkable. Whenever dawn broke over the forests of Babbitts, the three could be found training beneath the towering pines. Mike practiced swift combinations with his dagger, weaving between trees with graceful footwork. Nearby, Molly swung her enormous club against heavy logs, each strike echoing through the valley like thunder. From the branches above, Marlin loosed arrow after arrow, striking tiny wooden targets no larger than apples. As the sun climbed higher, training became hunting. The three ventured deep into the emerald woods, tracking wild boars, rabbits, and deer, while gathering herbs, mushrooms, and berries for the village. Mike led from the front, Molly protected their flanks, and Marlin watched silently from above, warning them of danger long before it arrived. Their teamwork was flawless. Villagers often joked, "You never see one sibling without the other two." And they were right. No matter how difficult the task, the three always fought as one.